Hi everyone, my name is Max. Thank you to take time to watching my the first presentation. For my first article review, I select Herrenboom's 2014 paper, Disaster Resilience in a Flood-Impacted Rural Australia Town, published in the journal Natural Hazards. My presentation will briefly introduce the author, identify the article's main argument, summarize the methods, and then evaluate its strengths, weakness, and implication for environmental planning. So let me make an introduction for author. Herrenboom is based in the School of Education at James Cook University in Queensland. Her broad work focuses on resilience, climate change adaptation, and rural communities, and she often connects educational and psychological perspectives with environment risk. That background shapes this article. She is less interested in engineering solutions to floods, and more in how people and communities cope, adapt, and remain in place after extreme events. The central theme of the article is disaster resilience in the rural town of Inhan, which experienced two severe floods in 2009 that affected about 65% of residents and business. Bohm argues that community resilience is strongly supported by social connectedness and sense of place, people's emotional attachment to the town and to their neighbors, and that these social factors both help residents cope and reduce their desire to relocate. To explore this, she used a mixed method design. First, comparing sensors indicators before and after flood, then conducting 81 key informants and focus group interviews, and finally surveying 287 residents and modeling the relationships among sense place, health impacts, resilience, and relocation attitudes. Methodologically, the study is built as a three-stage sequence. First, Bohm analyzed 2006 and 2011 census data and finds that enhanced population and unemployment rates are stable or slightly improved after floods, which she interprets as community-level resilience. Second, she conducts 81 interviews and focus groups where participants emphasize community spirit, mutual help, and pride in the town as walked them through the floods. Third, she designs a survey ground in these fields, validates the scales using racial modeling, and administers it to 287 residents, then uses structure equation modeling to show that sense of place significantly predicts higher individual resilience and lower desire to move away, while negative health impact on family and friends increase the wish to relocate. I see three main strengths in Bohm's approach. First, let's talk about the main strengths. First, the study is thematically tight. It connects a lecture on community resilience and sense of place with a clear structural model rather than treating these as a vague concepts. Second, the measurement work is unusually careful for an exploratory case study. Bohm pilots the survey in other disaster-affected communities, uses Russia analysis to remove misfitting items, and achieves a 92% response rate in hand, which increase confidence in the scales. Third, she triggers census indicators, qualitative interviews, and quantitative modeling, so we get both macro-level and lived experience perspective on resilience. However, on the other hand, the article also has important limitations as a witness. It assumes that residents who remain in the town 1 year after floods are likely to be resilient, which may overlook less resilient people who had to leave. Because all core variables are measured by self-report in a single survey, the SEM results describe patterns of association but not causal recovery paths. Finally, Bohm notes that she lacked access to clinical mental health and hospital data, so we cannot independently verify the resilience outcomes she infers from self-reports. Finally, I want to highlight 3 key takeaways for environmental planning. First, the study shows that social connectedness and self-place are not just soft ideas. They significantly predict both individual resilience and the decision to stay, which suggests that planners, Earth, should view investments in neighborhood networks, local organizations, and shared space as part of their hazard mitigation toolkit. Second, Bohm's findings underlie a tension for climate adaptation. Strong place attachment helps communities bounce back, but it may also make planned retreat from high-risk floodplains politically difficult, especially when residents see repeated flood as a part of life. Third, the article points toward an adapt-in-place strategy, strengthening flood-resistant infrastructure, drainage, and building codes, so that people can remain in communities where the social ties are strongest, rather than relying solely on relocation as climate risks grow.